Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. Today is the 1st of September 2023. We're into a brand new year. I always feel September is the start of a brand new year with back to school energy. And even if your kids have long flown the nest or you've not got children, there's still that sense of the start of a new year. Of course, it also links into nature and its cycles as well. So let's hope September is a good month ahead. I will do a longer video on it on YouTube soon. I want to give the MJ video a chance to find its groove. I wish I could find, there's this really funny image, which many of you will have seen, a little picture of 2 or 3 queues of people at a mystic fair. And one of them is, one of the cues is, a fortune teller with a crystal ball, and it's, let me tell you your future. And there's a huge queue of people that just want to be told what is going to happen to them, okay? And maybe you and I have been in that queue before. But it's all about somebody else telling you what is going to happen to you, as though you have no bearing on any of it in terms of what might happen, how you might respond to it, what you're bringing to the table, etc. And then there's another cue, which is heal thyself. Cue here if you want to heal yourself. And there's nobody at the table. No one wants to do it. And I really feel that, especially with the Michael video last night, which, is not doing particularly well. I've noticed over the years that videos where it has a strong healing emphasis in terms of we've really got to look at ourselves. Here's a meditation you could do to help with that, or here's a practice, here's some teaching. People don't want to watch it. If you put another video out in terms of, oh my God, something terrible is about to happen, people lap it up. People love to lap up bad news and fear. So it is what it is. Thank you for those of you that have watched it and want to do the mirror work and the inner work, because whatever might happen to you this September or in the next year, if you can come to it or that person more healed and more approving of yourself, which means doing the work, and in yesterday's video was all about mirror work, then you're going to enjoy it more, basically. But anyway, I know I'm speaking to the converted. You're my loyal audience that watch these videos. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'd like to talk, though, this morning about something that's quite tricky, quite triggering to some, and is one of the topics that I know, yesterday I talked about the fact that I know that a lot of people might just be storming off soon, my channels. Now, it's not my intention to alienate anybody or to trigger anybody, but equally I have to be true to myself. In fact, there's a couple of subjects that's going to trigger people. The closer to the USA election comes, the more I'm going to have to speak up with regards to, come on, you don't want the old way again, do you? But we'll save that for another day. I'll try and do it with love. The second one, of course, is the big C. And no, I'm not talking cancer. Although anybody going through that, I send you my love and my compassion. I'm talking about the other C that's been in our midst for a couple of years now. And, 2 years ago, I did a few videos with regards to how to deal with it, whether you got it or whether you didn't get it. And I stand by that work, and I'm proud of that work, and people appreciated that I was talking to both camps. Roll forward a couple of years, I still want to talk to both camps, but yet, hand on heart, I can't really understand some of the comments that are already starting to come in, and I have to respond to them with my truth. I have a platform for a reason. I'll give you an example of 2 comments that have come in recently. I'm sure both people have stormed off. It was on the back of the predictions video that I did, where I was talking about potential lockdowns coming back. I don't know whether I said it in that video, but I also included in the energy the push to have more of these again, okay? And it's going to ramp up, particularly as we get closer to the US election, but it's already ramping up, certainly in my country, in the UK. Lots of headline news, trying to scare people, trying to push this again. And I've never had any of them, okay? So, but I know lots of people that have had all of them, and still will roll up their sleeves and sign up for every single one. And I love these people. I find it very hard to understand it. But because I love them, it tends to be a case now where we just don't talk about it. It's as simple as that. They know my opinion. I know their opinion. And we don't talk about it anymore. And I don't take them to the appointments even, you know, in the old days, especially with mum. Well, I don't think she always says each time she's not going to have the latest one. And then she usually does because of peer pressure. But anyway, I remember the first time I did take her to the doctors to get the first one. And I'll always remember, you know, guys, I was sat there. I didn't go into the surgery, but I think I was trying to film a little video like this for you. And my car was full of orbs, and the orbs were streaming towards the room, which was in front of my car, which is where she was having the... And I'll never forget it. Never forgot it. And, you know, you could... There's various interpretations of that, but put it this way, this time I refuse to even take her if she goes. She has to get herself there on her own steam. That's how passionately I feel about it. So we don't talk about it, but she's not the only one. There are other people I know and love that, you know, will queue up. And here's where I'm at. So trying to stay violet pill with it, okay? Trying to stay violet pill, but equally needing to speak my truth. The two comments that came in recently, number one was last night, somebody coming with a huge load of fear energy onto YouTube. And they said, oh my God, in the USA, we've got these most scariest ever variations. You know, we have to start to do this again. And it's the only way to stop it. And you're going to be doing that, aren't you? And I thought, oh my God, oh my God. And so I just said no. I snapped back a bit. I have to be honest. I'm human. I snapped back. I'm sure they unsubscribed straight away. And I wasn't particularly proud of my reaction, but I'm just being real. It was like, for God's sake, please just get out of the fear energy. You know, this is what is feeding this. It's what I've said for 2 years. This virus breeds on fear. It breeds on fear. So the more that you buy into it, the more that you're going to be spreading it. Fear is the thing that spreads it more than anything else. You know, they've proven that these things don't even stop the spread. Anyway, I'm talking to the converted largely, I know. That was number one. The second one was, how did they put it? They said, well, I hope that you are going to be getting this, and I hope that there is the biggest ever advertising campaign to persuade everybody that they're going to have this, because this is the only way we can stop it. And again, I just thought, I don't know what to say to you. Well, maybe I say nothing. I can't remember whether I replied or not. I think I actually deleted the comment. It's that energy of like, I can't bear it anymore. Because we've been through this 2 years ago. My energy is one of always moving on. You know, I'm always about moving on, going to the next rung. But obviously the collective still needs to learn this lesson. Okay, that's why the VIRUS is still there. So what do we do with it is what I'm really trying to say. What do we do with this energy, which is like frustration, but wanting to love our fellow brothers and sisters and respect their choices, but then also realizing they're not actually respecting our choice, and they didn't 2 years ago either. So when it comes back around in your face and you have sort of moved on from it, it's like, my life isn't about this anymore. I never give it two thoughts. I mean, the only time I would ever give it a thought, and this isn't necessarily linked into this particular virus or any variation of it, it would be exactly the same pre these days, where if I was going to give a workshop or I was traveling on holiday, I would be hoping, oh, I hope I don't come down with something, you know, because on a plane you pick up germs. Nobody wants to be unwell, but equally being unwell is actually a part of life. We very rarely sail through any year without getting anything. So, but we're living in fear of the, illness in our midst, whereas illness has always been in our midst. So I'm going to pull a card from the Christ deck. And I'm also going to use the MJ spray, because the man in the mirror, what I'm seeing out there in terms of this paranoia, this fear, to a degree, it must still be here within me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be triggered by it. Yeah. And I'm not the only one triggered by it. And I'm literally, there's a big wave about to descend, okay, with regards to all this stuff coming back at us. And I'm literally just at the point where I'm just seeing the wave about to come. And I'm talking here about other people's reactions. No, I am not ever again going to not be able to walk across the bridge where I walk in the way that I want to. The single file on one side, the single file back. I'm not doing any of that again. I'm not doing it again. I do not consent. I do not consent. I didn't last time. But this time, maybe our voices need to be louder, but we still need to have compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters, for whatever reason, are still in that old loop of keep the advertising going. Make sure you keep getting this every single time. What, how many times are we going to have it a year? 3 times a year? 4 times a year? What happened about your immune system? Dr. John Campbell's latest video about natural immunity has been the biggest protector in all of this. He just did the video, it's just dropped. I know you know all this. Let's spray the MJ man in the mirror energy and see what we get. Change starts with us, yes. Change starts with us. That we have to find that peaceful centre. And most of the time we can, but there's going to be moments where we get scattered. And we have to keep coming back to the fact that whatever is going on out there, whatever other people's reactions are, whatever's coming at us, we have to get to a place where it doesn't affect us. We have to shield ourselves. We have to just keep working on ourselves. Let's pull a card from the Christ Consciousness deck with regard to what I'm being talking about. I'm being shown the energy of Jesus when he went into the lepers colony or wherever it was, and he mixed with the lepers. I'm not saying people that have got this illness are lepers. I'm just being shown that in terms of he never feared any, he didn't fear any disease. He just didn't fear. Nobody was untouchable. It's as though we're making some people untouchable. Those that don't get this, you're my enemy. This is all coming back again. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. I'm probably fitter than most people are. Guess what the card is, guys? Guess what the card is? You see, this shows the deck works, and we know this is the answer, but it's hard to get to it. Non-judgment. Non-judgment, it's about reflection and projection. Do not be the one to throw the first stone. And into that, we've got turn the other cheek, because you're going to get the stones thrown at you. That you're the problem, that I'm the problem, because I haven't got any of these. That's why it's still happening. Keep the advertising going, get more and more people on board with it. Don't you understand? Don't throw stones either at the people that are still in fear. This woman here is cowering in fear. Cowering in fear that she truly feels she's going to die and she's frightened of you. When you see it from that perspective, you can soften into compassion, can't you? And you can have gratitude for, well, thank God I don't have that energy. I don't feel like that. And so the more at peace we become with ourselves, hopefully that's going to rub off on others. So much more I could say, but I'm going to leave you with that energy. Okay. Everyone's got some degree of fear somewhere. Theirs is just manifesting with regards to this thing in the midst, and the media are going to be pushing it. So stay out of fear, stay in your heart. All is well. Much love. Take care. See you soon. Bye.